Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy Marcus Elbow. Welcome to Elbow Media Studios. And if this is your first time, all we do over here is keep it crunk, man. Today we got another tutorial, but today we're going to be taking a look at NanoStudio 2. And as y'all already know, man, I done looked at a few different DAWs. We done looked at Beatmaker 3. We done looked at Cubase's 2. Now we're going to take a look at NanoStudio 2. Just like I told you, some of my subscribers out there say, hey, Mark, man, if you're going to be looking at all these iOS DAWs, bro, you got to look at NanoStudio. I appreciate that, because guess what? This might be my best one. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to lie. Don't get me wrong. I still love doing beats in Beatmaker 3. That's not going to change. But this NanoStudio 2 is looking like it might be that one for Elbow, baby. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? But hey, let me show y'all what it's about, so you'll understand what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get to it, man. Y'all already know how we do it, man. We ain't got no time to waste. Let's roll. All right, so let's go ahead on and open up NanoStudio 2 so we can get started and get to checking out this cool iOS DAW. Okay, so once you boot up NanoStudio 2, this is what you're going to be this is going to be your first page. You can go in and set it up to have something different come up. As you can see, I already got a song here, and this is where the song lives, or your project lives right here, which would be, you know, a song, beat, or whatever. And let's just kind of dance around. Y'all know how we do, man. So let's take a look and see what we got. Okay, so as soon as you boot this guy up, your first tab up here to your left is going to be your kind of like your projects documents tab. Okay, and in that tab, if you go down here on your left side, you're going to have your settings, where you can go in and you can change some different things about the project that you're working on, or just the DAW overall. Like you have the sample rate here, you have the latency. If you have a up-to-date iPad, you can get some different performance things going on in there. Your background music, which this could be very important for some people if you want to have your track or your song to continuously play once you go out of the DAW. This is good for when you have audio units and you want to jump back and forth. You may want to activate that. You have the update. You have some few different things: mute style, metronome, record mode, always on, sample edition, some things like that. Then you have your MIDI setup here. If you want to look at, what's connected, like if you have a MIDI controller or you have a virtual MIDI controller, you'll be able to see that here inside of your MIDI. You got your output, so forth and so on. Just some of the stuff, if you haven't been working with the iOS ecosystem, this is common amongst all of their DAWs. Just a lot of familiarity when it comes to things like that. You have your UI settings. You can change how big your keys are. If you want them small, you want them bigger. Your knobs can be vertical, or they can be, rotary, however you want that. Control sensitivity, start view, things like this. And this is what I was talking about a minute ago. If you want your start view to be, the last page, project page, song, or mixer, you can set that up any way you want. I'm cool with the project starting out. You can go into your files. Here you can manage your files. If you have projects and stuff like that, some of these things live here. Your instruments, you could look at your instruments and things like that. Then you have your mix downs. This is when you get ready to export your project out. It'll live here. And you also have your trash there. Okay. So, and then you have your web DAV, which we're not going to go into. You also have your store here. So if you want to go in and you want to buy some sounds, they have a few options here. Have not went inside of there yet and did anything, but as you can see, they do have a few things in here that you could buy. And with Black Friday coming up, there are a lot of sales out there, so make sure y'all pay attention to that, okay? But anyway, we're not going to look at that. And then also you have your help here as far as your manual is concerned. If you want to go through and try to figure out some things on your own, or you want to continue coming to Elbow Media Studios and letting us teach you. We do appreciate you coming by and checking this out. All right. Okay. So now, now that we've looked at that, we can go across the top, but let's just go to the right here. This is another option you have if you want to save your project. If you come here and you've been working on your song, you want to quick save it here, you can do that. You can load a song, you can have a new archive and mix down here. So when you get ready to export, this is where you're going to go in order for you to be able to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the next tab, which is going to be pretty much your edit tab. And this is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. And as you can see, I already got a song loaded up that I worked on earlier today so that I could be able to demonstrate a few things for you guys inside of this DAW. Okay, starting on our left hand side, this is where all of your tracks live. So as you hit on the tracks, you're able to go through the tracks. Okay, and if you want to go deeper into the track, because this is the slate, which is NanoStudio's kind of beat kick drum type of instrument that you can alter and change. So if you double click on that, this will take you to another familiar look. This here is where all of your kicks live, and that is your 808s, 909s, and things like that. And if you double click on that, you can go through and use it, and all you can do is just hit that just like you would if this was Beatmaker 3. Okay, all right, let's go back. Okay, so what we don't want to do is change any of the sounds. We already got that in there, but we can start a new project and make some changes if that's what you guys want to see in a future tutorial. Right now, we're just talking about the overview. Okay, all right, so now we already know these are our tracks. This is where our sequencer lives. So if you want to make any edits or any arrangements, this is where you're going to do that. Across here at the top, these are your tracks as well. So you can pop through your different tracks here, as you can see it moving on top there. Okay. And that is a quick way for you to access even some of the more edit functions associated with whatever track you're on. Over here at the top in the middle here, which is kind of grayed out a little bit, but this is your undo and redo. This here is going to be your tempo. And if you click on that tempo, you have a few more options here. You can fine adjust. You can do your tap to get you a tempo if you're trying to figure out a sample or anything like that. You have your time signature, and you have your loop enable here. Okay, and then you have your metronome options here as well. Okay, and you can just hit that button here and choose how you want that metronome to react. Okay, right there. And then right here you have your transpose. So this is going to be start from the beginning, as you already know, your play and your record. Okay, all right, so that is the transpose and all the controls over at the top. Now as we look at the sequencer, we have our loop function right here. If you just click, and you can just grab that there, and just like majority of the DAWs, it will, you know, move based on how you have your grid set up. We'll talk about that in a minute, but right now I have it to where it pops one bar. Okay, which is always great whenever you start off working with a brand new software. Okay, and as we move down to the bottom here is very interesting, because you have a lot of options here pertaining to mostly the sequencer and some different things that you can do inside of the sequencer. Okay, now right here at the bottom left, okay, this is where you can add a new track. And as you can see here, you can add a slate, you can add a, I think that's, yeah, I'm not even gonna try to say that right now, but a Poseidon or something like that. Anyway, and those are the two tracks that are two sounds that comes with, you know, NanoStudio 2. And don't get shook now. I know you're probably saying, wait a minute, it only comes with two sounds. These are not like sounds. These are actually like small little workstation, like keyboard workstations. And I will show you. Let me go ahead and create the synthesizer track. And as you can see, it created it up here. Okay. And you can grab that and move it down here to the bottom. And as I double click on this track, you will see that now I'm in the synthesizer mode where I can go in and I can add patches. I can make changes here. I can do a lot of different things, which is very cool. And if we look over here to the left, you'll see as I just clicked on a patch, now you understand that there are a ton of sounds that comes with NanoStudio 2, okay? And as you can see right here, if you go through and you hit your lead, synth, whatever you want to do, you can just start, creating some different combinations, or you can just hit the synth, and then you can go through your synth here, and then you can play some different things. And it loads so fast. I mean, it is a ton of sounds in here, guys, that you can experiment with, that you can play with, and you can start creating right off the bat, okay? And that is you just don't understand. I've been saying this for a while. Whenever you can really jump right into your DAW as soon as you buy it and start creating music, it is a great feeling. For you developers out there, just remember, we are willing to pay money because it's not a lot that these systems are asking, or these developers or companies are asking for. It's $24, $40, whatever, which is great, but we still want to feel like we're getting our money's worth whenever we buy these applications, so we can jump right in them and start working and start making music. Okay, that's pretty much the first little sound module. That's what we're gonna call it. That is I think it's subsiding or side, whatever the hell it's called. We're gonna worry about that later. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say subsiding. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? But anyway, you got a few options here. You can look at this option here, which gives you the actual controls and the keyboard, or I don't know why you would need a double keyboard, or you can just have the keyboard here if you do not have a controller and you want to play, which is great. I mean, that is pretty big. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. Okay. All right, let's get back into our edit mode. So as you saw there, and if I do the same thing with the Slate drum maker or drum module, I will be able to have some of the same options. But again, we're not going to go in depth on that because, again, this is just an overview showing you what this application has to offer. Okay, so at the bottom here, we're going to continue go. You can delete as well with this, and I just deleted that track I created. You have your grid here, which gives you your almost your ability to move around inside of the sequencer. You can go 32 2 bars, things like that. Like I said, we had it at 1 bar. You can do no grid, move freely, or you can turn your snap off here. Okay, you have your zoom, that way you can zoom in. But what I really do like about this whole ecosystem with iOS is the touch functions. The touch functions are great. You can really truly get deep inside of your DAW and really make some changes, some minute changes, get real close to what you're working on. I just love that. And the way this DAW works, you can't do one finger and move around. That's for your select, as you see here. You actually have to have 2 fingers in order for you to be able to move around in the DAW and get to where you want to get to, okay? And again, it's not a hassle. It was just, it took a little getting used to. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you have to double, have 2 fingers on it in order for you to be able to get, if you have that guy stretched out. But that's no problem. I got used to it fairly quick, okay? But anyway, that's how you move around inside of the sequencer. And you have your select button here. So if you tap that, it gives you some different ways to select, okay? But if you have it already selected, you can just grab here and grab whatever you're trying to get a hold to, or you can just tap it if you want to grab individual pieces of your music, okay, and manipulate it that way. Okay, you also have draw here, so if you want to draw out some different type of things, that's, especially if you're doing automation, this is a good way to operate with automation. Then you can also go back and you can select that, and then right down here it would be my next button. That's going to be delete. Okay, and then if you click on it again, you get, these are grayed out until you click on one of your pieces inside of the sequencer. Then you could duplicate it, okay, or you can hit the actions and you can do some different things. If you had your playhead, you know, sitting here in the middle of your selection, you can go to actions, and as you can see here in the actions, you have loop select, join, split, unlink, and export. Okay, and that is just be exporting MIDI. If you hit that split button now, those are two pieces. If you back away from that, you'll see now I have two pieces there. Okay, let me get back where I was. Okay, we're gonna go ahead on and delete those guys. Okay, and what's really cool also, if you're looking, if you're here and you want to get in deeper on this sound and do some editing real close, you know, some minute editing, you can also get into the, you know, note edit mode here, where you can actually, and again, if you used to working in DAWs, this will also be familiar to you. Okay, and you can go in and you could draw some things in, and you can do some real neat things in this mode. So let's back up out of that, and then we're going to shrink it back down. And as you can see, we can get very small with that guy. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, that's pretty cool. Now, I know what you're probably saying, Mark, man, you got this track up here, bro, but you ain't letting us hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, if y'all want to hear it, go to my Instagram. Nah, I ain't going to do you like that. But it is right here. If you want to know what it is, let's just take a real quick listen. I'm not going to lie, I truly enjoyed making this track using NanoStudio's tools. It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. This is a good way to take us into the mixer. I really love the way this mixer looks. This is awesome. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am truly feeling the way this mixer functionality is. It's again, it's just like some of the other ones, but it's just some small things that they do in NanoStudio 2 that I'm really feeling. But let's just kind of go through some of the basics, and I can't wait to start doing some in-depth tutorials on this bad boy, because yo, your boy Elbow feeling this, no doubt. Okay, so coming from the left side, you're going to have your mixer track automatically created for you. That track cannot be moved or changed. And then just like in any other DAW, you're going to go through your tracks the same way you normally do. You can mix them, you can do all that. But let's just look at one channel here. We're going to take a look at the slate, and this is the first. If I pop back in here, you'll see that I have the slate deep in already highlighted, and it's showing me that it's purple, a good indicator that when I go back to the mixer, it's purple here, okay, which is awesome. There are a few options that you could actually access here. You got your mute, okay, you got your solo, okay, and I don't know what the hell that is, but anyway, you can go straight to your patch from your mixer, just in case you wanted to get back in there and make some fine adjustments, which is pretty cool. You also have your pans here, you know, just normal stuff that you're used to. Okay, you have some different options here. You can do some, you know, your MIDI stuff if you want to. I'm sorry, not your MIDI, but your effects. You can come in here. You can add some different effects. NanoStudio 2 comes with some pretty good internal effects. You know what I mean? They get the job done. You got everything from the EQ, compressor, delays, exciters, stereo grain, lo-fi. Now, you don't even have to purchase nothing. You can get that lo-fi already cocked and locked and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Inside the software. I haven't played with it yet, so I ain't going to tell you if it's good or not. But, yo, just know that you could already get that, okay? And if you select that and you want to get rid of that, you could always just delete it there and go back into your mixer, and you can continue working from there, okay? And inside of the mixer, like I said, everything is pretty much to the point. You know, again, you do have some different options you can use whenever you want to go. But for the most part, this should be familiar to you if you are accustomed to working in DAWs in general. Okay, let's keep that beat going a little bit. I just love to see it light up. That's nice. We just gonna get a little caught up in the track. That was tight. And as you can see, I had my loop here, so it's all good. But anyway, you know, there's so many different things that this software has to offer. This was just a very, very quick overview of the actual software. But when we come back next time, we're going to look at how we could move around inside of some of the tools and some of the stuff that NanoStudio 2 has to offer as far as sampling, as far as the pads and making some adjustments in your pads, you know, just your buses. And man, it's a lot of stuff, even with just the pad and the way you can look at the layout here. As you can see here, there are a few options at your top right here where you could just really isolate yourself with one pad. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. This is just awesome stuff that that I really and truly love, and I love the fact that they did it their way. They chose to go about it in a, you know, similar fashion, but just a little bit different. And I love that. That way you have Cubases and you have Beatmaker 3 and then you have NanoStudio, and however you're feeling that day, you can really decide on which DAW you want to work with based on the tools and the workflow. All right, man. So how did y'all really feel NanoStudio? You know what I mean? As I took y'all through it, as y'all can see, man, it's a pretty cool DAW. It's got a lot to offer. I mean, it's just like, you know, Cubases 2 and just like Beatmaker. I mean, they really put a lot of thought into putting this program and this software together. And I really am liking what I'm seeing right now. I got to spend a little bit more time with it, but I'm telling you, I've been doing some stuff. And if you don't follow me on IG, you need to follow me on IG. I'm telling you, I'll be doing some beats on that. I'll be letting people hear a little different flavor from different DAWs and all that. So come follow me, man. Anyway, look, I am going to be doing some more tutorials on NanoStudio 2. So if you have any requests or anything like that, go ahead and get down in the comments. And just so you guys know, in order for YouTube to find videos like this, it helps when you guys comment, when y'all like, when y'all, you know, get interactive with the video. It makes it a lot easier for that algorithm to find the video. All right, look, man, it's your boy Marcus Elbow, man. It's been Elbow Media Studios. I appreciate y'all coming by and checking out this video. Don't forget, man, I got a lot more tutorials over there. Get your learn on, bro. I know you want to bang some of them beats out, all right? All right, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? All right, man. Peace.